So synthesizing means bring together two or more texts with similar information. Bring together two or more texts with similar information and write about it. So I want to think about it like, so like you're writing about the topic. So we have two articles this week. They're both about some form of junk food. The first one is more about the science behind the flavoring of junk food and where it came about and how processed food began. And the second article is more about the creation of the potato chip. And that's got some really similar information. What you're going to do is you're bringing both articles together, seeing those similar facts that we had yesterday on our Venn diagram, the section where we had both, and we're writing about how they come together. So we think about it as like two puzzle pieces coming together. If I move this notch over to this notch, they would fit. So this would be that article 1, that first article, and article 2. And we would bring that information together and you would now have something to write about, like the addictive qualities of potato chips, because we're talking in the first article, what makes the food so addictive and so tasty. And the second article is all about those potato chips and the creation of those potato chips and why are they so delicious. So that is the skill we're going to be working on today, synthesizing. We're going to read the article again for a now third time. You're going to be working with an even smaller group. So when I say a smaller group, that means you and your group really need to pull your weight. There shouldn't be like two people who are the only ones talking in the group. Everybody needs to do their fair share of reading the article and kind of getting through it. Now, the thing that I noticed yesterday when we were reading through that article is that some of our friends kind of stopped in the middle of a paragraph and like said, okay, next person. It's really hard for your classmates to figure out where to continue to read if you're stopping in the middle of a paragraph. So make sure that when you are reading, you decide, okay, I'm going to read the entire paragraph. That way, the person knows where to start is at that next indentation. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. So I'm going to put you into some small groups. There's going to be, I think, well, hopefully about 4 to 5 people in each room, which is less than yesterday. So let me create these rooms and make sure that we have enough people in each of them. All right, one thing. Okay, so let's see here. Group 1 is Dylan, Jaylee, Mason, Olive, Sophia. Group 2 is Charlotte, Hank, Jackson, Scotty. Group 3 is Carter, James, Kira, Lucas, Taya. Group 4 is Liam, Nuchen, Owen, William. I'm going to open up those rooms. Please join it. Jackson, Sophia, Taya. And Taya, I need you to go to the breakout room. All right, go ahead and join that breakout room, Kira. Let's take a look. It is in Google Classroom. It's called Synthesizing Chips Articles. That's the name of the assignment. And if I open it up, it's a set of slides. And it says, are these chips too delicious? Synthesizing activity. So learning from 2 articles. It says, hi Storyworks readers. When you are trying to learn something, it's great to read more than 1 article. Different articles can give you facts and ideas. You can put them together in your mind. It's like doing a puzzle, finding different pieces and fitting them together to create a big picture. This reading skill has a name, synthesizing. Now practice this skill using 2 articles from the December 2020, January 2021 issue of Storyworks. So, directions. You just read the articles, are these chips too delicious, and love at first crunch. You are going to answer the questions on slides 3, 4, and 5, and then there's a writing activity on the last slide. So do we have this open? Not sure how some of my friends have gotten it to read it. And guys, I get it. Some people didn't read during that time. I'm not going over that right now. I'm just giving a kudos to the group that read the entire time. So I'm on slide 3. It says, answer the questions in each blue box. Go back to how are these chips too delicious to find your answers. So can you see, I know yesterday you guys said that my screen was blurry and you couldn't see it. Are you having a difficult time seeing my screen at all today? Yes, or like you can see my screen, or no, you cannot see my screen. You guys are shaking your head and nodding up and down and doing this, and I can't tell what you mean.
I can see it, but it's really blurry. Yeah, I can't see it. It's blurry.
All right, well, I will zoom in, but this is as good as I can do. Again, the internet at school is not like flawless, and so I'm doing my best for you guys to see it. Okay?
That's a little better, actually.
Huh? Sorry, I couldn't understand what somebody just said.
I said that's okay. I said that's okay. It looks, I can see it better now.
Okay. All right. What do flavorists do? Give some examples from the article. Well, we've read this article 3 times. What does a flavorist do? Let's start with that. Owen, what does a flavorist do?
Make food taste great.
They make food taste great. So click, oops, I'm really zoomed in. I don't want to be that zoomed in. Zoom out. All right, there we go. Starting with flavorists make food taste great. Notice, I say this all the time, but I'm talking about UPQ. Please do not start your sentence with saying they make food taste great. I want you to literally use the word flavorists. Flavorists make food taste great. The reason why myself, your third grade teachers, you're going to see this all the time in fifth grade. The reason why we have you do this is if I take your writing away from the question, I will know exactly what you are trying to say. If I had that question erased, I still know basically what the question is asking you based on your response. Flavorists make food taste great. What is an example from the article? They say examples. What are examples from the article? What are they making food? What are they doing to make food taste great? Carter, do you have an answer to this? I've seen your hand is raised.
Earlier I was gonna say they work in like factories to make food taste great.
Yeah, they work in factories. But what are they doing? What is an example of something that they are doing to make that food taste great? Kira, what is an example?
They study us to see what we like.
They study. They study people to see what flavors they enjoy. I kind of like enjoy more than just the word like, but that is the same thing if you want to put like. What was an example? They gave two examples right under the definition of flavors of things that they've created that are things that people enjoy. Lucas, do you think you can give me that example?
They use thousands of chemicals.
They do use thousands of chemicals to create these. They use thousands of chemicals to create flavors. And then I can just leave it there. You could also include things like they have the sentence, they are great at concocting flavors like berry for a sports drink, chili cheese flavored pretzels. Those would also be included as examples if you have that. I'm going to keep my answer up here for a moment. So in case you want to copy what I have typed, I'll reread it again to make sure it makes sense. Flavors make food taste great. They study people to see what flavors they enjoy. They use thousands of chemicals to create flavors.
Are we gonna do slide 4 today too, or no?
Yeah, we're gonna work on the entire thing. This is something We're going to do, like I'll do like 1 and 2 with us on this first slide. We're going to do one of them from 4. We're going to do one of them from 5. And then you're going to do the last slide on your own.
Okay.
All right, what allows humans to taste different flavors? How is this information helpful to flavorists? So first of all, first question. Second question, I've noticed on a lot of our StoryWorks activities, we're not answering both parts of the question. So, Sophia, start me off. What allows humans to taste different flavors?
Their tongue and their taste buds.
Okay. A human's tongue and taste buds allow us to taste different flavors. So that's probably under the section, a slimy pink blob. Why is this information important to others? Or helpful to flavorists, I should say. It can take several years to perfect a new taste. A successful flavor, a tangy citrus for gum, a zesty spice for chips, can earn millions of dollars. No wonder flavor companies guard their formulas with such care. But what makes a flavor good? Why do we love some tastes and not others? Check out your tongue in the mirror. That slimy pink blob is a great flavor detecting tool. You have 10,000 taste buds on the inside of your cheeks and on your tongue. They can sense 5 different flavors. They go into the different flavors that you can teach. Our power to sense flavors is a survival tool. Thousands of years ago, when people hunted and gathered food in the wild, a quick taste could tell them whether or not a food was edible or deadly. A bitter berry, it will kill you. That sour hunk of buffalo meat, bleh, it's rotten. Yet your tongue plays only a small role in how we sense flavor. Ever wonder why your food tastes bland when your nose is stuffed up? It's because your tongue is pretty lost without your nose. The tongue knows whether a food is sweet or bitter, but it takes both taste and smell to tell whether your brain is that ice cream you're eating is chocolate or vanilla. Okay? Flavorists know how tastes work, and food companies know which tastes sell better. The best. How do they know? They spend big bucks to study us. They research our diets. They ask us questions. What can I put for the second part? How is this information helpful to flavorists? Olive.
It is helpful because they can get a lot of money off of selling these products.
Okay. I'm going to put this information. This information is helpful because, can you tell me that second part? Because
they can make a lot of money selling these products.
Yep, because they can make a lot of money from selling their products. Okay. And you don't want to eat a bitter tasting potato chip. Bitter is very uncomfortable and you don't like it. Just like if I ate candy that was flavored like, I don't know, something gross like a turkey sandwich, I probably wouldn't eat that because that's not what I'm expecting to eat. So they're studying how you taste those flavors and things that you would enjoy, right? Because like Olive said, they're making a lot of money from what they're doing. Good job, Olive. I'm going to give you another moment to get that down. A human's tongue and taste buds allow us to taste different flavors. Information is helpful because they can make a lot of money from selling their products. Let's look at slide 4. What was surprising about George Crumb's crispy fried potatoes? So think back in the article. He's got a guy who's complaining about a French fry that was thick and soggy, that they were not enjoying it. So he thought, oh, let me throw in these really thin potato chips that are not really appetizing. And he was surprised. What was surprising? I'm on the second article, Love at First Crunch. Owen, thank you.
He wanted to make something that wouldn't taste as good to get revenge on him.
Yeah, so George
wasn't expecting that it would be so good.
Right, so George Crumb was surprised because he expected that the potato chips would not taste good, and the customer actually enjoyed them. Good job, Owen. Thank you. What was surprising about George Crumb's crispy fried potatoes? George Crumb was surprised because he expected that the potato chips would not taste good, and the customer actually enjoyed them. Give me a thumbs up if I can move to slide 5, where we're going to talk about both articles when we're synthesizing both of the articles. You're going to be responsible. We did 1 and 2. You have to do 3 on your own. We did 4. You need to do 5 on your own. We're going to do 6. You'll do 7 on your own, as well as the letter on the 6th slide. So we're going to be doing half the work together. You're going to be doing half the work on your own. But I expect that your answers are as well rounded, meaning that there's UPQ and plenty of text evidence in the ones that you are doing independently. Thanks, Lucas, for the thumbs up. All right, let's think about both articles. Question 6. What have scientists discovered about how to make foods irresistible? Give one example from each article. What have scientists discovered? There's 2 things about scientists. I can think of the second article, what they've discovered. What are we thinking about from the first article? So we're doing it in order. What has scientists discovered? Let me read Burst of Flavor. About halfway down. After they spend big bucks to study us, they research our diets, they ask us questions, they chart our buying habits. They have found that the best-selling products pop in the mouth with a burst of flavor that quickly fades, leaving the brain wanting more. Food companies know how we like most foods. They know how crunchy we like our chips. They know how thick we want donut glaze. They know how to make food taste great, but maybe too great. What is one example from that first article, how to make foods irresistible? I'm thinking this first article, I like this idea that they're talking about that food has a quick burst of flavor, then that quickly fades out, leaving the brain wanting more. So I'm going to use that example. Scientists have found that a quick burst of flavor that fades quickly makes the brain want more. I'm going to reread that. Scientists have found that a quick burst of flavor that fades quickly in, let's say, in food, makes the brain want more. I think that's pretty interesting. I've never even heard that before, but if I think about things that I've eaten, yeah, like a potato chip, I'm eating it and I probably want to keep eating it because, ooh, that tastes really good. Second article, I'm looking under crunch craving. Research shows that humans naturally crave noisy, crunchy food. Why? Some scientists think it's because crunchy food tends to be fresh. So my example might be, they also found that we like crunchy food because it tells our brain that the food is fresh. How many times have you opened an older bag of potato chips that's been open all week and your potato chip is no longer fresh, it's kind of stale, and you're like, ooh, I'm not going to eat that. I'm going to throw the bag away. I don't know about you, but I'll do that with crackers, chips. It's telling me that the bag is no longer fresh. So I'm going to reread all of that again. I know it's a lot of information. Scientists have found that a quick burst of flavor that fades quickly in food makes the brain want more. They also found that we like crunchy food because it tells our brain that the food is fresh. This activity, I am going to post it to Google Classroom, this recording. If you're not getting it all typed out right this minute, it will be posted for you to see when you, if you would like to pause it and rewatch it in different parts. And then I'm going to move down to explain what you're doing and kind of help you format this last section. It says write a letter. Now use your answers above to help you to respond to this prompt. Imagine that you're planning your sister's birthday celebration at home. Write your family a letter giving the pros and cons of serving potato chips. Conclude with your own opinion. Use details from both articles. So I might start off, dear mom and dad. It needs to have that, or maybe your grandma and grandpa is buying the birthday celebration. Whoever, you need to have dear mom and dad. A lot of times on these activities, I'm not seeing the dear part where you're formatting this as a letter. You need to then come up with giving pros and cons, meaning things that are positive about potato chips, things that are negative about potato chips. So I need I need a sentence to kind of start this off, saying maybe, I would like to help plan my sister's birthday party. I know you said you wanted to buy potato chips for the party. Here are some positive and negative facts about potato chips to help you decide if we should have them. Then I might give a sentence with my positive facts about potato chips. Then I might give the negative aspects of the potato chips. Then after those two sentences, I need to have a sentence saying, because of those reasons, I don't think you should buy potato chips for the party. I think we should have fruits and vegetables. Or you should say, I think because of these reasons, we should have potato chips because they're yummy and crunchy and salty. And we should buy them for the birthday party. Whatever reason you might have for wanting potato chips at the birthday party, okay? Any questions about slides 3, 4, 5, or 6 that I haven't touched on? Like I said, this will be posted to Google Classroom with information on how to do the assignments, okay? There will be this video. I'm going to quickly just show us what we're doing for the New Year's writing before I let you go. I know it's 9:47. Just a really quick, some really quick information on the last slide. Yesterday, you wrote about what you cannot wait for. This year, you're writing about what are your family's traditions on New Year's. So that's including, I would say, New Year's Day and New Year's Eve. What are some of those things that you do every New Year's Eve? I know a lot of you on Monday said, I watched the ball drop. I stayed up late. I watched TV with my parents or my siblings. I don't know, sometimes people let off fireworks. People have like noisemakers. They have confetti. They eat certain things on New Year's Day. So please just include what your traditions are, but it needs to be a paragraph. Okay? Do you have any questions about what you're supposed to do today during New Year's writing, during